Good evening, good morning, greetings सबैजनालाई तपाईँको होस्ट पेपर बक्स 83 आइपुगेको छ आज साँझ फेरि एउटा नयाँ एपिसोड लिएर आज इनफ्याक्ट ब्याक टु ब्याक रहनेछ सो विदाउट वेस्टिङ ए टाइम है आई विल ह्याभ द फर्स्ट गेस्ट है आज एकजना होइन दुईजना हुनुहुन्छ सो आई विल जस्ट पुट इट अन रेडी 1 2 and 3 there we go glitches are there है oh एकछिन है के भयो आज त इन्टरनेटले पनि भन्दैछ त धोका देला जस्तो गर्दैछ त है ग्रे इन ग्रे आउट एकछिन ल लेट मी सी why is it happening
You're looking more nervous than anything else.
oh thank you ल हुन्छ ओके सो देख्नुहुन्छ यु क्यान सी इट अन द स्क्रिन विभ गट टु गेस्ट टुडे आज हामीसँग दुईजना गेस्ट हुनुहुन्छ कुणाल हुनुहुन्छ अनि रोहन गिरी हुनुहुन्छ फर्स्ट क्वेसन गिरी दाजुभाइ त होइन आज के हो भनेर विल गेट टु नो अबाउट इट तर टकिङ अबाउट कुणाल वी क्यान सी हिम ब्ल्याक टी सर्टमा कफी पिउँदै कुणाललाई मैले चिनेको आई थिङ्क अबाउट 6 years भएको छ कुणाललाई अनि एज आई वाज सेइङ अर्लियर एज वेल कि जुन दिन चाहिँ मैले नोकरी छोड्छु होला भनेर सोच्दाखेरि चाहिँ कुणालको जोइनिङ त्यही दिन थियो बाहिर चिया पिलाएर मलाई भनेको अरे आज म आउँदैछु तिमी जाँदैछौ बस न तिमी है भन्दै थियो सो हि इज माई फर्मर बस कुणाल गिरी अहिले हि इज सक्सेसफुली यु नो म्यानेजिङ हिज career मजाले होइन इट्स one of the best companies right now in Delhi NCR we'll talk about that company little later अनि साथमा हुनुहुन्छ हाम्रो रोहनज्यू है रोहन गिरी है रोहन हाई हाउ यु अनि रोहन चाहिँ आज हाम्रो स्पेसल गेस्ट पनि हुनुहुन्छ है वी आर नट प्लान्ड अफ ह्याभिङ हिम एज अ गेस्ट तर भेरी इन्ट्रेस्टिङ क्यारेक्टर रोहन he is right now talent acquisition he's a India lead so we'll talk about that as well so as we'll talk many things about career यो हो त्यो भएर तर before I get into that म समय दिन चाहन्छु हल्का कुणाललाई है कुणाल अनि रोहनलाई पालिपछि है कुणाल कसरी चाहिँ अन्त अहिले आजकल पेन्डेमिकमा चलिरहेछ
लाइफ इन पेन्डेमिक है
हजुर
एकदम अप्ठ्यारो छ बट आई मिन पहिला जब भयो सुरु भयो त्यो बेला त चलो ठिक छ अब के होला पेन्डेमिक भयो
हजुर
के हो पेन्डेमिक कसैलाई थाहा छैन कसैलाई थाहा छैन वी नेभर एक्सपिरियन्स इट राइट आई मिन दिस द फर्स्ट टाइम के हुँदो रहेछ लकडाउन थाहा पनि छैन कसैलाई इनफ्याक्ट आई वाज एक्चुली ट्राभलिङ I was in an official tour to Colombia and then I came to US and then I came to India and this was January to 2020 January 2020 ठ्याक्कै त्यही बेला म आएँ फेरि आउने पछि होइन जनवरीमा फेरि त्यसै आएपछि म आई डोन्ट गेट सिक आई मिन टच वुड है आई डोन्ट गेट सिक द्याट अफन क्या तर आएपछि अलिकति मलाई ज्वरो आयो थला पऱ्यो अलमोस्ट आई वाज लाइक आई कुड फिल द्याट आई वाज नट वेल अब मलाई थाहा छैन त्यो बेला के भयो त्यो बेलासम्म इन्डियामा त कोरोना खालि न्युजमा मात्रै आउँथ्यो
मतलब तपाईँ चाहिँ कोरोनाको पहली उम्मेदवार भनेको जस्तो छ क्या
त्यो पनि हुनसक्छ है तर आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु बी द फर्स्ट क्यारियर बट आई क्यान टेल यु फर स्योर थाहा छैन कोरोना त के थियो तर आई कुड फिल आई वाज नट वेल सो त्यसपछि के पनि भएन ठिक भयो 2 दिनपछि ठिक भयो अब सबै नर्मल थियो अफिस जानै लागेको थियो त्यो बेला फेरि भयो कि नै आई हेभ टु गो टु फिलिपिन्स फेरि फिलिपिन्स गएँ फेरि फिलिपिन्सबाट पछि आएपछि जस्ट ठ्याक्कै एक्ज्याक्टली होलीको 2 दिन पहिला जब फिलिपिन्सबाट फर्केर आएँ त्यसपछि लकडाउन मार्चमा एक्ज्याक्टली मार्च 5th March or somewhere around that time
सो आफ्टर द्याट चाहिँ के छ आजकल चाहिँ के चलिरहेछ
लाइफ इन पेन्डेमिक मैले त्यही भन्दै चाहिँ अलिकति मैले पछाडिको ब्याकग्राउन्ड दिन जरुरी थियो किनभने द्याट इज वाट आई वेन्ट थ्रु कि अब त्यो के भइरहेछ नाउ लकडाउन भएपछि त फेरि त घरमा सबै थुनेर यताउता केही छैन नथिङ सो इट वाज लाइक अ डिफरेन्ट थिङ है अफिस त खेर यसै पनि सबै रिमोटै थियो होइन मेरो त सबै यताउता सबै मेरो टिम सबै सबै चारवटा छ त I don't have to really go to office. But मेरोलाई धेरै फरक छैन, but I could really feel people working out. It was difficult for them here. You know? So life in pandemic is different. It is difficult, and especially the ones who are earning their wages in daily basis.
हजुर
They really got hit bad. So it's a bad time for everyone, but also for those people who were in a lucky industry.
हजुर
जस्तो हाम्रो छ होइन आइटिएस भयो त्यस्तो इन्डस्ट्रीको लागि चाहिँ ठिक छ धेरै इम्प्याक्ट भयो. द्याट्स माई टेक.
अनि रोहन सेम क्वेसन अभियसली दे वुड बी मेनी थिङ्स इन कमन है जो चाहिँ कुनालले भनेको थियो होइन तर अपार्ट फ्रम द्याट अलिकति डिफ्रेन्ट चाहिँ के फिल गर्यो रोहनले चाहिँ
मैले भाइ what I understood mostly about the pandemic was you are sitting at home, there's a lockdown, so IT industry is booming. IT industry meaning even your basic Amazon, your product companies. Can I hope I'm audible.
हजुर 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 नेपालीमा झन् दामी बुझ्छ हजुर हजुर
So Vivek,
हजुर
see, मैले के भनेको भने त्यो Amazon and all these companies, they really shot up right, really high.
हजुर
Why? Because you're sitting at home and what you need is you need products and services right there coming to your house.
एक्ज्याक्टली
Click a button.
हो नि हो नि
My entire idea about hiring people,
Okay.
I actually handle recruitment. So when I'm hiring people who are technology graduates or probably technology people or technocrats, talking about JavaScript and all that, I don't want to get into those major big skills. But eventually, what we all knew that we actually depend on technology at the end. Phone उठाएर के माग्छ घरमा, big
Okay.
basket तपाईँको के हुन्छ. So
हजुर हजुर
all that was there.
हजुर
But at the same time, I run an organization also in my team also.
हजुर
So yeah, see, I saw a lot of yeah.
सो I'll come to the point है जहाँ अहिले तपाईँले कोट गर्थ्यो लाइक बिग स्किल्स है वी विल कम्पेयर दोज बिग स्किल्स भर्सेस लाइफ स्किल्स है अनि सो त्यस्तो खालले तपाईँहरूको दुईजनाको एक्सपिरियन्स थियो होइन अनि नाउ कमिङ ब्याक टु जो गेस्ट हुनुहुन्छ वी जस्ट टक्ड अबाउट फ्यु थिङ्स है हामीले भन्यौँ कि कुनाल भन्दै थियो कि उसको 4वटा टिम छ हाम्रो रोहनले भन्दै थियो कि इज ह्यान्डलिङ hiring hi so Kunal works for a multinational company. I think I'll probably leave it up to him to introduce himself कि के कहाँ छ कुनाल के गर्दैछ होइन so that we will probably have a base that हाम्रो कुरा चाहिँ कहाँ कुनपट्टि जानेछ कुन डिरेक्सनपट्टि जानेछ भनेर ल कुनाल over to you.
Hey, thanks Vivek. So very humble start, right?
But before that, I just want you to like brief like what you are at right now, okay? Then we'll go to those humble
right
beginnings.
Now, so right now I am with a company called EXL Services. EXL Services is one of the leading IT BPO company, and I manage one of the largest account for the EXL clients, and this account is spread across multiple geographies. India, Philippines, near shore in US and Colombia. So सबै ठाउँ फैलेको छ. So I am the operation head. So I manage this team of around 2,000 people, and and I work out of Noida. त्यही हो.
ल है अनि यदि कसैलाई अलिकति विस्तारमा भन्नु पऱ्यो भने चाहिँ he manages the operation for one of the largest account that company has है so he is one of the big shot अब moving
I try to do I make sure that whatever I do is the best. So yeah,
okay.
but I'm happy with the company. It's a good company to work with. It is something that has given me a lot of learning
हजुर हजुर
and a lot of excitement. So
definitely रोहन अनि तपाईँको चाहिँ
my journey has been like lots of ups and downs here and there, and then I studied in between.
Yeah, but I'll come back to the question like just Kunal stated.
Yeah. So right now I basically head the talent acquisition team of Saxo Bank. Saxo Bank is a Danish company which was founded in 1992. Okay. And so we are like the Amazon of investment products.
Oh, okay.
investment products. So it's like, no, there are a lot of people across the world who
हजुर
who rather invest on, like, forex or etc, and CFDs and all that. So we are the guys who are recruiting people who actually can develop the application,
ओके
and
ओके
I have to hire those people like right now. That's my portfolio for past 1.5 years.
ओके सो जस्तै तपाईँले सुन्नुभयो होइन आई थिङ्क वी गट द राइट मिक्स अफ गेस्ट टु नाइट है वान हु रन्स द बिजनेस है एन्ड दि अदर हु आइडेन्टिफाइज ट्यालेन्ट टु रन द्याट बिजनेस सक्सेसफुली
Yeah.
सो
Who enables it?
Who enables it? Right.
इनेबलर्स एकजना चाहिँ
Enabler,
मतलब
executor.
Executor.
एकजना एक्जिट गर्ने अनि अर्को इनेबलर सो यु क्यान सी हामी दुईजना देखिरहेको छौँ सो कमिङ ब्याक टु यु नो आवर ओन करियर है वी आर नट फ्रम 70s just to make it clear है हामी वी आर all from 80s I hope you can see it right we are all from 80s Kunal you're also an 80 born right
I am 80. Yes.
yes you are right almost made it at like 70 sorry eh?
Yeah. Thank God I was not 70s. No, but 80s are the best ones.
So am I. I just have white hair.
correct
No, he's
correct
60s by the way.
correct so Kunal talking about our career journey and Rohan as well very good so obviously we didn't come from families where it was already there running in the blood of doing things in a larger scale we all have had our own humble beginning भने थियो so to cut a long story short है सिधै कुरा भन्छु अब तपाईँहरूको करियर जर्नी चाहिँ कस्तो रहेको छ हाउ यु गाइज स्टार्टेड एन्ड त्यो हल्का जर्नी मतलब मेबी टेक अबाउट अ मिनट अर सो टु समराइज के कसरी स्टार्ट गर्नुभयो
I'll just take a minute.
मेबी
very
टु
humble-
इट्स अ राइट
Okay, ठीक है. So,
हजुर
very humble start है. Born brought up नेपालमा यताउता गर्दा फेरि then we landed up in India गयो पढाइ खतम भयो ग्रेजुएट भयो एक्ज्याक्टली थ्याङ्कफुली ग्रेजुएट ग्रेजुएट भयो त्यसपछि 2001 the moment I graduated त्यसपछि went out for hunting for jobs यताउता है त्यो बेला त त्यस्तो हुन्छ कि मार्केटिङ जब त एकदम सबैजना खालि मार्केटिङ जबमै गइरहेको थिए I also did a graduation in marketing and some of my post graduation stuff but तर फेरि त्यहाँ त्यो बेला जी ले एउटा नयाँ कन्सेप्ट स्टार्ट गरेको थियो कल सेन्टर सो कल सेन्टर चाहिँ के हो कल सेन्टर भन्दा राति राति काम गर्ने के गर्ने थाहा छैन कसैलाई केही थाहा छैन के गर्ने ठिक छ इफ दे आर पेइङ मनी अच्छा ठिक छ गाडी पनि आउँछ अनि त्यसपछि लिएर जान्छ खाना पनि त्यहाँ छ 5 स्टार होटलको खाना छ यो छ त्यो छ सबै कुरा सो इट वाज भेरी एट्र्याक्टिभ सो लकिली आई वाज रिलेटिभली बेटर इन वे द्याट आई युज टु टक इन इङ्ग्लिस त ठिक छ यसलाई हायर गरौँ सो आई गट हायर्ड इन 2001 इन जी जी भयो जेकिस त्यो बेला जेकिस थियो त्यसपछि 2005 मा जेनप्याक भयो त्यसपछि आई वाज देयर फर 13 इयर्स त्यहाँबाट आई ग्रू माई करियर एसोसिएट लेभलमा गयो त्यसपछि बिस्तारै गएर म्यानेजमेन्ट लेभलमा गयो अझै सिनियर म्यानेजमेन्टमा गयो 13 इयर्स पछि आफ्टर अल 13 इयर्स आई स्टिल regret not regret but I still miss rather those days and then I joined IBM IBM was a very good experience another company IBM मा गए त्यसपछि कन्सेन्ट्रिक्स भयो हजुर त्यसपछि फेरि IBM कन्सेन्ट्रिक्स 3 साल बसेँ त्यसपछि म EXL मा फर द लास्ट 5 इयर्स अब एज अ VP अपरेशन्समा अहिले चलिरहेछ
चलाइरहेछ त्यसै
आई मिन मजेदार 20 इयर्स हो क्या
okay we'll have those moments where we'll talk about those मजेदार मोमेन्ट्सहरू है अनि रोहन तपाईँको चाहिँ के छ के रहेको छ
there was one time my family was forcing me to join the army. I was preparing for the army and civil services and all that, but eventually I joined a consultancy. Like call center के लिए मतलब where Kunal was working, I was trying to hire those people for 5,000 rupees per person.
हजुर
I joined a very small consultancy that way. And eventually what it led me to join Naukri.com, and then I realized there's a entire website where you actually can put in these keywords and find people, and then into leadership hiring, where you again put in these keywords only and learn these keywords, learn Boolean searches, and then figure out like, okay, who are the right guys, who's not. Then eventually I started learning up where Genpact is and where this man is, who is his boss, who is his junior. I figured out, I made an entire tree of people.
हजुर
And then I had to do an entire sales job. Oh, यहाँ पे I'm pitching a person a job which is different. And as you keep on going up the ladder in terms of searching a job, तो क्या क्या हुन्छ भने you cannot like just say कि अच्छा आपको 30 लाख मिल रहा है, आपको मैं 35 लाख दूंगा. नहीं. That's not how people move. People
हजुर
move only when they have a very good role.
हजुर
So I had to learn the role first कि इसको क्या ऑफर आने वाला है इसको.
हजुर
वो त्यस्तो खालको के.
हजुर
And it was very challenging in the earlier days, of course.
हजुर
It was very challenging. But yeah, I just kept on moving. I kept on studying also in breaks.
हजुर
And,
हजुर
so it's been a very decent journey that way.
डिफ्रेन्ट जर्नी है. अनि अब त्यसमै मेरो कुरा गर्दाखेरि मैले पनि एट अबाउट 2004 जस्तै कुनाल स्टेटेड राइट 2004मा मैले स्टार्ट गरेको जर्नी चाहिँ. इनफ्याक्ट मैले डोमेस्टिक कल सेन्टरबाट स्टार्ट गरेँ 2003मा. अनि 2004मा चाहिँ त्यही इन्टरनेसनल कल सेन्टर भनेर है. अब बाफ रे बाफ कतिवटा इन्टरभ्यू दियो होला. एमटिआई मतलब इङ्ग्लिस त आउने थिएन, तर वाट इज एमटिआई भन्दा चाहिँ मदर टङ इन्फ्लुएन्स भन्दा त्यो चाहिँ फुल फर्म चाहिँ याद भइसक्यो. त्यस्तो साह्रो क्या. बिकज मोस्ट अफ द टाइम्स अब त्यति बेला अब सबैले त्यस्तो गऱ्यो होला होइन. म पनि अब सरी जस्तै रोहन हि इज फ्रम ट्यालेन्ट एक्विजिसन टिम होइन. अन्त अभियसली वेन वी ह्याड टु सेट फर एन इन्टरभ्यू हामी पनि रट्थ्यौँ होइन. माई नेम इज फलाना ढेमकाना.
Can I interrupt? You know what? I used to feel so bad when I used to see certain Darjeeling people coming, and when I was in the consultancy.
Okay.
I used to feel so bad when I used to see those poor guys who were getting rejected because exactly your point. Mother tongue influence. They are speaking perfectly good English. Get through a call center. How that Kunal's job is done. It was a big deal to get selected out there, and I used to feel so bad during making sure that these guys are not like moving forward. I really felt bad.
हो नि त्यस्तो हुन्छ क्या. त्यस्तो हुन्छ. एन्ड माई 23rd attempt was the successful one.
23rd?
Yes.
You will not believe, Vivek.
हजुर.
You will not believe. EXL ma
हजुर
as a VP, right?
हजुर.
EXL was one of the companies that I tried when I wanted to become an associate.
Agent.
Reject भएको क्या म reject भएको.
हजुर हजुर.
त्यो बेला म reject थियो. अहिले पनि जसले हायर गरे नि मलाई.
अच्छा.
मैले जो गर्दै भन्छु, you know what? 19 years back or 17 years back, I came here to EXL. You guys rejected me. Now look where I am. I think it's all about learning, yeah, journey.
Yes, correct. Ani so story भन्दा पनि probably I'll start with my story and you guys can chime in with your stories है. EXL join गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ अब I was working with Airtel क्या. Airtel भन्ने कम्पनीमा पोस्टपेड कस्टमर सर्भिसमा. अनि त्यसलाई भर्खरै GSM टेक्नोलोजी क्या थियो आएको थियो मार्केटमा. GPRS भन्थ्यो क्या. उसै त्यसले चाहिँ के हुन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि यु कुड एक्सेस इन्टरनेट एन्ड यु क्यान प्रब्ली रन लाइक वेबसाइट लाइक याहू, रिडेफ, MSN.com हुन्थ्यो क्या त्यति बेला. एन्ड लिटल लेटर हटमेलहरू हुन्थ्यो क्या. सो आई वाज द कस्टमर केयर एक्जिक्युटिभ. अनि मेरोमा फोन थिएन. सो आई युज टु गेट कल्स कि मेरो चलेको छैन, मेरो इन्टरनेट चलेको छैन भन्दा. सो देन आई गट अ कल फ्रम आई डोन्ट नो कोही थियो एउटा एकजना मल्टिनेसनल कम्पनीको एउटा राम्रो पोजिसनको मान्छे थियो. हि कल मी एन्ड आस्क मी कि विवेक कस्टमर केयर सर्भिस रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ हो, विवेक मेरो फोन चलेको छैन, हाउ डु आई मेक स्योर कि मेरो इन्टरनेट चाहिँ कनेक्ट हुन्छ भनेर. यो GSM GPRSमा छ भने होइन. अनि मैले त्यसलाई अहिलेसम्म थाहा छ कि मैले त्यसलाई टिप चाहिँ के दिएँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यसो गर्नुहोस्, तपाईँ फोन अफ गर्नुहोस् है. सिम्पल, फोन अफ गर्नुहोस्. फोन अन गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यु हेभ टु मेक स्योर द्याट इट्स प्लेस राइट अन योर पाम लाइक दिस फर कपल अफ मिनट्स. ओके, एन्ड देन युल गेट इट. एन्ड आई वाज नट मेकिङ अ स्टोरी ओके बिकज मेरोमा एउटा साथीको फोन थियो कि जसमा चाहिँ त्यो इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन थियो जसमा चाहिँ जिपिआरएसको थियो कनेक्सन आई युज टु लाइक बरो हिज फोन एन्ड त्यहाँ आउँदै थियो इन्टरनेट कनेक्सन के अनि यसरी गर्दै यसरी खोज्थेँ क्या म यसरी खोज्थेँ बुझ्नु त्यही लजिक चाहिँ मैले त्यसलाई भन्थ्यो त्यसले मलाई यस्तो गाली चढायो पागल हो त के समझेछ मलाई 3,000 का फोन लेके बैठा हो और तुम कह रहे हो कि ऐसे फोन पे रखो ऐसे इंटरनेट आएगा सो एन्ड आई वाज लाइक नहीं सर यस्तै हुन्छ के यस्तै हुन्छ भनेर क्या सो द्याट्स हाउ आई स्टार्टेड आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर त्यो एउटा मेरो फनी कल थियो क्या अनि अभियसली तपाईँहरूको पनि होला त्यस्तो हल्का फुल्का
थुप्रै छ यार थुप्रै छ कति फनी मोमेन्ट्सहरू क्या त्यहाँ अफिसमा त धेरै नै छ मतलब आई डोन्ट इभन रिमेम्बर विच वान इज द बेस्ट वान बट आई मिन स्टुपिडिटी वाला जस्तो फोन हुन्छ नि मतलब काम हुन्छ नि थुप्रै हुन्छ जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल नर्मली के हुन्छ भने नयाँ एन्ड आई विल नट एडभाइज दिस टु एनीवन स्ट्रिक्टली फर्स्ट अफ अल स्ट्रिक्टली नट एडभाइजेबल
करेक्ट
जस्तै अब फर इक्जाम्पल आई गट अ कल है मैले कल आयो अब कस्टमर एकदम आइरेट छ एकदम फुल अन एकदम यस्तो ह्यान्डल गर्न अप्ठ्यारो भइरहेछ मतलब मुझे ये चाहिए वो दिस एन्ड द्याट एन्ड अल स्टफ आई निड दिस द्याट एन्ड अब म गर्दै पनि छु नाउ आई वान्ट टु स्पिक सुपरभाइजर सुपरभाइजर नो आई विल सल्भ इट भन्दैछु मैले आई वान्ट टु स्पिक टु सुपरभाइजर
हजुर
सुपरवाइजर अब हुन्छ के भने सुपरवाइजर ल्याउनु मतलब
बेइज्जती अब पहले त अपनी
बेइज्जती यार शिट यार कुनालले नि हैन भने के
हजुर
सुपरवाइजर ल्याउनु अनि सुपरवाइजर हेरे शिट अब होइन के अलिकति आवाज मोडुलेट गरे
अम्म
यस आई एम द सुपरवाइजर अफ कुनाल हाउ क्यान आई हेल्प यु अनि त्यसपछि त्यो कस्टमरको पनि के त्यसको पनि आवाज एकदम मेलो भयो क्या एकदम मेलो पुरा एकदम yes your agent is not helping me out it is I am so sorry sir and I will try and help you out यता गरेर थ्याङ्कफुली कसरी गरेर मैले टालटुल गरेर गएँ but I also had to just wait to see कि यार यो कल रेकर्ड नहोस् रेकर्ड भयो भने बर्बाद छ मेरो नोकरी गयो आज
I mean, I'll just add a line to it. I'll just add a line to it. यो कुरामा चाहिँ है अब हेर्नु रहेछ है I mean nobody gets a perfect start क्या आफ्नो करियरमा क्या आफै दामी
मेरो साथी क्या नेक्स्ट वाला भन्यो क्या कर रहा है तू भन्छ क्या चुप लाग I'm trying to handle this call let me just finish this call first
awesome that was hilarious
again a caption
हजुर
don't do this anywhere else not a recommended one they're all naughty pieces so yeah
दामी भोइस मोडुलेसन तर माने द भोइस मोडुलेसन वाज ग्रेट है अब इट अलमोस्ट फेल्ट लाइक कुनाल बिकम कुण्डली
कलरले नचिनेको क्या हे हाय मैले भनेको हे आई एम लेन आई एम कुनाल्स सुपरवाइजर हाउ क्यान आई हेल्प यु
हजुर
anyway that was my funny moment at least professionally I mean there are a lot of things others but I can't forget that
okay all right अनि रोहन तपाईको चाहिँ कस्तो रहेको छ
see, it's not as funny as Kunal's, but
stole the thunder.
Kunal totally took the thunder away from this entire joke kind of a scenario. But yeah, I did have a phase where, my boss, he gave me an entire analysis once. He gave me an analysis in terms of okay, now I'm 23. Okay, now he told me. On a whiteboard.
Hazır.
Whiteboard.
Hazır.
He drew a line,
Hazır.
At this age you should have a marriage. At this age you should have a child.
Hazır.
At this age you should have second child, or if you care to have a second child, that is. But then you should be earning this much and then you should be having life insurance policies and this policy and that, and then eventually mutual funds. What not? Okay, all that he he showed me entire analysis.
Mm.
I took a bike ride trip, and I told him I am on leave on a message that time. Nokia phone. त्यतिखेर Nokia phone थियो.
हजुर हजुर सर
3310
So I messaged him. I'm actually taking a bike ride trip, so I'm not available.
but I mean
And then this guy thought like this guy is not gonna be a guy, and I was still acting as a student, and yeah, there were a lot of serious people out there. They really wanted to do serious recruitment, and I was like one kid out there.
तर तर कति कति दामी कुरा नि आई मिन हु कुड गेट अ बस लाइक द्याट होइन हु वुड थिङ्क 10, 15, 20 years of your future because आजकलको बसहरू त के हुन्छ वी अल नो द्याट राइट आई मिन हामीहरू त आफ्नो रोटी टार्गेट रोटी सेक्नु छ है
टार्गेट त थियो त्यहाँ पनि टार्गेट थियो तर
You had a good boss यार नानी. He is actually worrying for your future. बिचाराले he is giving guidance कि मेरो डीआर पनि के कि गरोस् राम्रो.
But he was also taught the same thing by somebody else.
That's fine. That's how it.
And then he's throwing it back.
That's how it works.
I'm like, I am just not that guy.
So talking about bosses है अनि talking about jobs अब हामी सबै अब नेपाली स्पिकिङ कम्युनिटीबाट आएको हो होइन अनि कहीँ न कहीँ देयर आर फोक्स पिपल लाइक यु है वुभ डन लाइक रियली वेल इन देयर करियर आई नट से लाइक सुपर फ्यान्टास्टिक पनि होइन बट इट्स रेस्पेक्टेबल एउटा जर्नी रहेको छ होइन लेट्स नट अब यो हुन्छ नि अब एकदम साह्रो मोडरेट पनि हुनु भएन एउटा तर भए पनि बट अगेन कमिङ ब्याक टु द पोइन्ट इज के भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपाली स्पिकिङ कम्युनिटीमा चाहिँ अलिकति जेनरली पनि कल सेन्टरको जब प्राइभेट सेक्टरको नोकरीलाई चाहिँ यसरी त्यति इज्जतले हेरेको जस्तो चाहिँ लाग्दैन क्या द्याट्स हाउ आई फिल अनि त्यसमा आजको हाम्रो मेन कुरा गरौँ न है अब वी विल ट्राई एन्ड बस्ट सम मिथ्स होइन डिबङ्क सम थ्योरिज अबाउट the call center को एउटा life हुन्छ and I'll start with Kunal while Rohan joins us.
So sorry.
It's alright, yeah. So I'll start with Kunal है त्यही थियो मेरो टपिक चाहिँ अब लाइफ इन अ कल सेन्टर वेयर कल सेन्टरको जबलाई चाहिँ त्यति प्राथमिकता दिएको छैन इज द्याट हाउ यु गाइज ह्याड लाइक फेल्ट वेन यु गाइज स्टार्टेड जब तपाईँहरूले स्टार्ट गर्नुभएको थियो पर्सनली मेरोमा पनि त्यस्तै थियो बट आई जस्ट वान्ट लाइक हियर फ्रम यु गाइज कि कस्तो थियो तपाईँहरूले स्टार्ट गर्दा वाज इट लाइक रियली वेल एक्सेप्टेड वाउ आज त तैँले छक्का मारिदिस् भनेर ल ओके
सो I'll start, right? So मैले भनिरहेको थिएँ आफ्टर ग्रेजुएसन गरेपछि द फर्स्ट जब द्याट जस्तो म लाइक एभ्री वान वुड डु इन 20s to 20 होइन के अरे 2001 yeah thanks for correct 2000 मा क्या 90s बाट खतम भएपछि 2000 मा आउने बित्तिकै मिलेनियम विथ द न्यू मिलेनियम सबैजना के धेरै हुन्थ्यो द मार्केट वाज भेरी बुमिङ इन टर्म्स अफ मार्केटिङ जब्स के
हजुर
सबैजना खालि मार्केटिङ खालि मार्केटिङमा जान्छ सेल्स जब खालि सेल्स जब खालि सेल्स जब चल्छ आई अल्सो थट कि मेरो पनि करियर सेल्स जबै हुन्छ होला I did my post graduation with a different institute on communication and marketing.
Okay.
Yes, so NIS. So I did it from NIS.
Delhi.
Yeah. So I did it from NIS. So the whole objective was to make sure that I could also figure out a job which is more in marketing. But see, the irony of the marketing thing is it's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. You have to do a door-to-door sale. See, not everyone, when you start a career, not everyone will get a job.
You're right. It has to be marketing. बोलते हैं actually sales only.
हाँ, तो वही sales
है. Door-to-door वही है.
So that's where I started, right? That's where I started.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't get a job of marketing. Can you believe that? I did not fit into a role. पूरी marketing company मलाई door to door sell गर्न मन थियो. This is right after my graduation. त्यसपछि के भयो? Luckily, then there was this interview that was going on from GE.
Yep.
So those people who can speak a little better English.
Correct. That was the main criteria.
that was the thing.
I think early 2000, yeah.
English अलिकति बोल्न राम्रो आयो भने चाहिँ I mean naturally मेरो मदर टङ इन्फ्लुएन्स छैन धेरै यता लिबरल छ क्या त्यसैले मलाई धेरै प्रब्लम थिएन
हजुर
अहिले म हेर्छु नर्थ इस्टको भयो या साउथको भयो वेस्टमा त धेरै प्रब्लम छैन नर्थ इस्ट साउथमा मदर टङ इन्फ्लुएन्स धेरै छ क्या साउथमा साउथवाला कसैले कुरा गरे भने इङ्ग्लिस थाहा पाइहाल्छ कि त्यो साउथको नर्थ इस्टले कुरा गरे पनि थाहा पाइहाल्छ नर्थ इस्टको मेरो त्यस्तो थिएन त द्याट एक्चुअली वाज अ ब्लेसिङ इन डिसगाइज फर मी सो त्यसपछि गएर फेरि मैले करियर आफ्नो स्टार्ट गरेँ सो वाट आई वुड से इज यु नो टु स्टार्ट अ करियर एटलिस्ट बिपिओ वालामा इट्स नट अबाउट जस्ट द इङ्ग्लिस अब चेन्ज भइरहेछ क्या मार्केट इट इज नट जस्ट अबाउट इङ्ग्लिस स्पिकिङ अब त गयो इङ्ग्लिस स्पिकिङ talent pool गइसक्यो क्या अब अरु आइरहेछ
Kunal, I want to get back to the point. Right? The point was कि कसरी चाहिँ अब एउटा कल सेन्टर या फिर मल्टिनेसनल कम्पनी भयो या प्राइभेट सेक्टरको जबलाई चाहिँ त्यति एउटा इज्जतको नजरले चाहिँ सोसाइटीले हेरेको थिएन त्यो टाइममा. डिड यु एक्सपिरियन्स द्याट?
No, I'm coming to the point. So त्यो बेला कसैले पनि राति गएर काम गर्नुपर्छ क्या अब राति किन गर्नुपर्छ बिकज जसको कल आउँछ त्यो युएसमा छ अब युएसमा त दिन छ तिनीहरूले कल गर्छ हामी यहाँ राति छ
हजुर
है त रातिको कल गर्नुपर्छ त obviously we have to work nights हैन अरु त के थाहै छैन अरु त अब के गर्नु so that is what one of the biggest thing as a taboo or whatever it was कि रात का नौकरी क्यों कर रहे हैं ये तो चौकीदार और नौकरी है भन्छ नि है सबैलाई
हजुर
ए राति गइरहेछ यो त थोरै न काम हो के यता actually that was the biggest thing I think but we need to understand the fact about कि रात का नौकरी is not a matter what you're doing is what values
see at the end of the day everything has growth be it the रात का नौकरी be it your normal day job whatever you're doing sincerely you'll always grow that's for sure there's no changing of that fact no matter what
okay so great point here right great point irrespective of whichever industry रात को होस् दिउँसोको होस् हैन जे पनि होस् every industry is actually an industry right it's not something like a trend that will come and go right it's an industry right त्यो इन्डस्ट्रीमा थुप्रै लाइभलीहुड पनि कनेक्टेड छ अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट विल ग्रो अनि त्यो इट्स जस्ट अबाउट आफ्नो चाहिँ लगाइराख्नु पऱ्यो भने अन्त रोहन डिड यु हेभ सिमिलर लाइक एक्सपिरियन्स कि जब वेन यु स्टार्टेड इफ यु एभर स्टार्टेड विथ दोज नाइट सिफ्ट्स इन यर करियर त्यति बेला चाहिँ त्यस्तै खाले एउटा फिडब्याक रियाक्सन थियो घरबाट सोसाइटीबाट
Yeah, it's very similar. Like it's like almost like a taboo. Call center guy. He's a call center guy. At the end. Right, they look at you very down, like
yeah.
And what it does to you socially, I'm a psychology graduate, right? At the end,
okay.
So what impact it has on you? It's like you tend to stay away from the rest of the people. You tend to not connect with the rest of the like Darjeeling people. You will not connect with people around. They'll probably look down upon you.
So I think very good point के भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ so when you are a part of a society है अनि जब रिमार्क्स रियाक्सन फिडब्याक मान्छेहरूको यस्ता अलिकति नेगेटिभ आउँछ then we start creating silos क्या आफ्नै एउटा साइलो and त्यसले गर्दाखेरि it does not help either the person who is actually going through the hardship जुन चाहिँ नोकरीको काम गरिरहेछ
exactly
it does not help right? So it's all about understanding the fact that it's an industry it's a career choice and the career choice I'll come to that okay now having chosen a career in multinational private sector regret rejoice what's your take on that Kunal we'll start with Kunal
I'll tell you when I joined call center मैले पहिले सोचे थे कि नहीं यार अभी थोड़ा पैसा बनाते हैं है अलिकति पैसा बनाओ and then we will just make sure कि I'll get some money for some of the things that I want to do then we'll figure out something else it was a very short lived thing that we wanted to do
wow
फेरि के भयो once I started doing it, then I started making interest. There was an interest. क्यों अलिअलि फिर मजा आउन थाल्यो क्या? And then I started doing it well. So obviously you start seeing growth and all the stuff. So त्यसपछि फेरि ठिक हुन थाल्यो. But initially it was just a temporary fix. चलो अलिकति पैसा पाइरहेको छ, ठिक छ, जाउँ. त्यही हो.
Okay. How about you, Rohan? कस्तो छ तपाईँ?
So I rather look at it very differently. Okay, actually, I mean, see, what Kunal has mentioned is absolutely right. But my entire idea about a career is about eventually teaching. Eventually, so no matter what you do in life, you have to give back to society in a different way. You have to eventually teach. If you are in call center, you have to teach different things. If you are in if you are HR, you have to teach different things. If I can teach out there back there in Darjeeling, I'll be very happy to give them back. Like, literally have an entire, seminar out there and tell them, ki, acha, baba, ye karo. So, so, yeah, so I know I am digressing. I'm sorry.
No, तर मेरो यसमा के काउन्टर छ भन्दाखेरि आई थिङ्क इफ योर इन्टेन्सन इज अबाउट टिचिङ somewhere or the other, everyone who's doing well in their career have made teaching as an essential part of their character. Okay? Just अब म भए या फिर कुणाल भए, we've taught folks who have worked with us, होइन?
Not everyone. See, you don't understand the fact that, Vivek, if there was even 80% or even forget 80%, even 50% of people who actually believed in actually teaching what they know, Darjeeling would have been a different city right now. They would not depend only on cab and tourism and all that. They would think of much better things. That's my point. A very humble point.
Yeah.
If everyone teaches like what they learn, it's going to be a different deal altogether.
I think मेरो चाहिँ त्यो literal translation थिएन क्या त्यो teaching. I was just telling about like I am there with my team. I'm actually teaching, imparting something to the other person so that the person can catches the positive and applies them in their life, and they also grow, right? Similarly, Kunal became a vice president now, not because he just taught himself, but in his journey, he's also taught others. Like
wait. No, you're mixing it up now. You're mixing it up. See, the point is, Kunal, he became vice president, but that is part of his job to teach the people, and the rest of the crowd or the entire 10,000 people, what 3,000 people, they need to learn exactly what they have to do, and then it's like A, B, C, D. You have to do it. But imagine one day when Kunal becomes a little older and he starts teaching the kids कि अच्छा ये करना है, go to this field of study, this is what happens. You go to a different field of study, this happens. That's where I think Kunal will make a bigger difference.
No, what he's also trying to achieve in his question is to know what your experience has been, the learning and.
My learning has always been, all throughout in my entire career so far. I've always been ensuring that my juniors have been growing. That's what I've been doing.
Great. So now touching upon the growth ko kura and how you been a teacher, होइन अब as Rohan would like to teach and अनि कुणाल तपाईँले पनि अलिअलि टिच त गर्नुभयो होला यताउति होइन directly indirectly होइन not as a teacher, as in a being a teacher or trainer.
He's a great teacher, in fact. And
no, I'm not a teacher. See, I'll tell you.
He sells himself short. But he has taught me a lot of things also, by the way, not just you.
No, I mean, I'm happy that any of my guidance has helped someone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, guidance though, I mean, it's up to the person who takes the guidance, right?
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, all I try to do is mere hisable leader bane cha bhane till the time no, hold on. I'll tell you a thing. A successful leader is a leader who builds leader.
Yeah, actually.
Right?
Actually.
जब some leader आफ्नो तल बनाउँदैन, you can't be a leader just because कि हाँ मैं leader हूँ, right? ऐसे बने हुँदैन.
Correct.
You have to build leaders also below you so that you can take a bigger leadership. Right?
Correct.
So that is all I thought about, and I just gave all powers and everything to make sure that Mero DRs, Mero direct reportees are happy and they feel powered and encouraged at the same time, also happy with what they try to do. That is the thing. A few things that I did which has helped me.
So करेक्ट सो अघि रोहनले भन्दै थियो नि होइन कि ट्यालेन्ट एक्विजिसनमा इज बिन देयर फर मेनी इयर्स अनि धेरै प्रकारको ट्यालेन्टहरू पनि उसले हायर गर्नुपर्छ एन्ड इन इज प्रब्ली इनिसियल डेज हि केम अक्रस लट मेनी पिपल फ्रम नेपाली स्पिकिङ कम्युनिटी जसको एमटिआईले गर्दा हो या जे कति कुराले गर्दाखेरि रिजेक्सन हुँदाखेरि उसलाई एकदमै मन दुख्थ्यो है I think now we are in a phase where we see lot of people, especially from Northeast India, bhanu ya Nepali speaking community, but who are like employed is the multinational private sector ma हैन मेरो पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्स अनुसार थुप्रै मान्छेहरू छ एट लिडरसिप लेभल एज वेल राइट एट एभ्री लेभल तर जब म कम्पेयर गर्छु नि विथ लेट्स से नर्थ इन्डियन पन्जाबको साइडको मान्छेहरू हुन्छ या अलिकति सिटी मेट्रो सिटीको केटाहरू हुन्छ होइन जो अलिकति फरवर्ड थिङ्किङ खाले केटाहरू हुन्छ आई हेभ सिन आर सेट अफ फोक्स इदर दे गेट एक्सप्लोइड और they don't want to like climb up the ladder के they may have the talent they may have something तर मलाई त्यस्तो लाग्छ no better than you guys probably talk about it ki how you guys feel about it.
Before you can answer, okay. No, I'll just take one.
I understand the question, but actually,
no, I'll tell you. What he's trying to ask is, how are different people? Why is it that people from north gets more opportunities than people from east?
Okay,
right. That's one way of asking it. The other is also the fact that why is that there is some there is a different thing about the north which is not seen from the east. But is there a difference in the intellect?
Hunger as well. Sometimes the hunger as well, na? Intellect, hunger.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. Hazir.
I'll just take one stand on that. See, there is no difference on brain. There is no difference on intellect.
Hazir.
Right? Yeah. I'll tell you, the dumbest guy who is not even literate is also intelligent.
Yeah, totally.
It is not about he can write and read makes him intelligent. No. It is his IQ that it makes him intelligent. I have a maid who comes in, she has a superb IQ. I can make her do better things than what someone who is an educated guy cannot do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that. So, intellect is not a question about education. It is not. Right? त्यो होइन कि मैले पढाइ गरेको छैन मतलब म एकदम बेकार छु नो मन is a different thing, right? Then see what happens is when you study, then you explore your world. Now I'll come back to the question. East and North. See, undoubtedly we have to look at the culture first, right? Culture, East ma culture very subdued culture छ के मतलब धेरै flamboyant culture छ. North ko culture, especially Punjabi culture, is a very flamboyant culture, and which is fine. That is a culture, and we all love it.
I agree.
So हामी पनि भन्छ नर्थ को मान्छे एकदम चालु छ भनेर है साउथ को चाहिँ चालु साउथ को त झनै सबड्युड छ झनै सबड्युड मेरो टिम सबै साउथ हो सो मैले न अलग अलग कल्चर हेर्दै गर्छु के आई कीप अन अब्जर्भिङ दैट सो आई रियलाइज इट्स नॉट द कल्चर इट इज द इंटेलेक्ट यू नीड टू रेस्पेक्ट द इंटेलेक्ट या so that is where companies need to change the way you get people right it is
what a point
very good point
it is not कि वो कहाँबाट आइरहेछ के you just and I'll be very honest 5-10 मिनटको इन्टरभ्यूमा कसैले पनि गेज गर्न सक्छ 5-10 मिनटको इन्टरभ्यूमा खाली जो बोल्यो त्यसैको वर्ड छ that is my part
very good point and that's exactly the strategy comes in HR strategy when you're hiring people then I look at an aptitude test I say like okay probably Vivek has to go through an aptitude test Kunal has to go in spite of him being a leader in spite of you being like a manager whatever I'll still go through an aptitude test and I'll see the results how your application in this complex environment is going to be with you actually honestly
okay
and yeah
okay
I think he's made very valid points in fact actually
त्यसो भने चाहिँ so how do we make sure like all the aspirant people है जो चाहिँ अहिले काम गरिरहेछ how do we make sure that first of all get selected first starting त्यहाँबाट आउँछ get selected in the market है first एउटा त्यो आउँछ then we'll probably move on to the point that once you are selected then how do we make sure that you are counted के you're counted amongst the bheed के amongst the crowd त्यो भने so we'll start with maybe you know how do we make sure that we get selected we get to work with companies that offer a lot of things for your future यो खाले कुरा जो स्पेसली हाम्रो जतिजना नेपाली स्पिकिङ कम्युनिटीमा हुनुहुन्छ आई थिङ्क वाट इट अल टेक्स फर अस टु गेट सेलेक्टेड विल स्टार्ट विथ रोहन आई थिङ्क इज द राइट म्यान टु स्टार्ट अफ द क्वेसन हजुर
I mean, maybe the right guy, but हाम्रो नेपालीहरू बीटेक गर्दैन के you know they don't do graduation in BTech and BE मा अब के हुन्छ भने when they are BTech graduate then I can like you know vouch for them
okay
IT industry अब हाम्रो career is very very limited अब यहाँ नेपालीहरू हाम्रो नेपालीहरूको हाम्रो career is very limited to okay we'll go through you know a simple process called like okay if my voice is good if my English is good okay I'll get through होती हुन्छ and they're not looking at
to a certain section of population मा चाहिँ त्यो thought हुन्छ होला that again question is irrespective of roles how do we make sure that good companies would hire us
okay so let me take this
I will after him I'll pick it up
let me take this
huncha
see you have to first understand and I'm giving you a perspective of an interviewer
hazır ekdam
so if I have to select someone all I would first look at is how presentable the person is right it is not about I will ask him a GK question please don't prepare for GK the biggest thing that I think you should do first of all is कुनै पनि कम्पनी जहाँ पनि इन्टरभ्यू दिन जान्छ पहिले त्यो कम्पनीको बारेमा अलिकति स्टडी गर हेर त्यो कम्पनी के हो लिंक्डइनमा जाओ इन्टरनेटमा जाओ हेर फाइन्ड आउट अबाउट द कम्पनी के गर्दैछ के प्रोडक्टहरु छ के गर्दैछ सो दैट यु कैन टक सेन्स के हुन्छ क्वेशन अगर कम्पनीको बारेमा एउटा हाल्यो भने थाहा पनि हुँदैन देन हुन्छ के भने तुम्हें पता ही नहीं कौन सा कंपनी के लिए आए हो भन्छ क्या
every stupid company ask why this company
exactly right why this company then you should say oh you know what your company is doing like this and this and this and this I've seen that
HR will not know
correct HR will not even know right so two cheese I think that is one biggest thing that I would say as a tip for everyone right?
Good great tip
know about the company second know about what is your strength don't try to say that you can do a lot of things just say what you can do good
what are you good at
right don't say that I can play all the games if you are only good at badminton na just say I don't know how to play other games but I'm very good in badminton you say that is better right so those are the things that I would say for new joiners right new joiners no one is expecting ki ye bahut fresh amazing I mean there will be a lot of things that he'll come with a package no koi कसैले पनि सोचिरहेको छैन कि they will expect that this guy will come with a lot of package no they all know that they are fresh they are only saying कि यो मान्छे कति राम्रो बोलिरहेछ पहिला कुरा how presentable the person is it's not about call center by the way है presentable हुन कुनै पनि जबको लागि एकदम जरुरी छ
and one more point adding to his point all the points he said is absolutely true to the core number one second point is just tell everyone to start like researching on you know online aptitude tests you know it actually makes your brains a little smarter you do your logical tests you do you know your mathematical tests just figure it out
थुप्रो logical test थुप्रो आउँछ online आउँछ अहिले पुरा फोनमा छ
गरे भयो भने के हुन्छ नि
you keep on rehearsing your
automatically okay I'm telling you as a psychologist telling you like you know automatically your brain will start thinking very logically in that angle only logic wise like you know okay so, if Vivek you ask me a question I need to answer this answer and now that becomes a logic right so that you know Darjeeling folks need to understand this. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, my counter to this is, or maybe not a counter, maybe what I think, or you guys can आफ्नो तपाईँहरूको point of view भन्नुहोस् है. Let's say that एउटा मेटल टेस्ट है, मेटल टेस्टको कुरा गरौँ होइन. मेटल टेस्टको एउटा रिपोर्ट आउँछ अनि कुनाल तपाईँले त्यो मेटल टेस्टको रिपोर्ट आउँछ कि अब त्यसको एप्टिट्युड कस्तो छ, त्यसको एनालिटिकल कस्तो छ, एभ्री स्किल वी काइन्ड अफ सी. But do you take decision based on the mental test?
No.
Right.
Mental
So for audience clarification, for audience clarification, I just want to make it very clear that what Rohan was saying is not about you giving those metal tests and you being engaged upon those scores. I mean, I think the conversation went in that direction. I just wanted to like have two clear paths.
So I'll tell you.
Right.
So I'll tell you. So mental.
Can I please
Okay.
this?
We are live, guys. We are live one at a time.
Sorry, Kunal, sorry, Vivek. So basically, what my point was, if people are practicing it, their brain levels becomes better. I didn't say that I will choose a person to hire basis somebody's mental ability, basis a test report. I'll not do that.
Correct.
But I want you or
anyone,
me also
anyone
to actually keep on doing these mental tests. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So audience ma clear garna chahante tyo kura because I don't want you guys to get confused because see right now we are all have experience and probably at times we may in having our conversation from an experience level. Okay. For a general audience to understand, never ever that your mental test or your aptitude test will be the differentiator. It is a guidance जसले चाहिँ एउटा त्यो इन्टरभ्यूले लिइरहेको छ, right? Is that what you guys wanted to say, right?
So I'll just say one thing.
हजुर.
There is a big crowd, है.
हजुर.
अब फिल्टर गर्नुपर्छ क्या. फिल्टर गर्नुपर्छ. अब फिल्टर गर्नको लागि केही न केही त चाहिन्छ है.
हजुर.
पहिला के हुन्छ मेन्टल टेस्ट गर्छ क्या.
हजुर.
मेन्टल टेस्ट पनि त्यस्तो अप्ठ्यारो हुँदैन. So यस्तो हुन्छ कि at least the ones who are good enough and smart enough will easily pass through.
हजुर.
Difficult हुँदैन. त्यो MAT or CAT all of this mental test होइन. है. So that's one. And then second is then when you have interviews, right? Interviews मा जस्तो आफ्नो गरो, that is up to you.
Correct.
So that is what I want to clarify.
Yeah.
But to his point, I think it is an exercise. It's an exercise for everyone to make your brain work faster.
You have to do it every day. All of us have to do it every day. It's not the same now.
It is about challenging your brain.
It's about everyone. You have to keep on challenging your brain. Otherwise, your brain becomes dead.
Correct. Okay. So I'll just repeat the points for the audience. I wasn't like it because the question was how can we make sure that we get it selected in good companies? And the very first thing was about your appearance. Kunal le bhanyo appearance ko barema. त्यो एउटा कुरा भन्यो. सेकेन्ड इज अबाउट योर होमवर्क, नट जस्ट द्याट यु विल नो अबाउट योर सेल्फ बट यु हेभ टु नो अल्सो द कम्पनी द्याट यु वान्ट टु बी पार्ट अफ अर वान गेट इम्प्लोइड है, त्यो कुरा हो. अनि थर्ड अनदर भेरी बेसिक फन्डामेन्टल कुरा के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ नो अबाउट योर सेल्फ एज वेल. जो चाहिँ उसले भनेको थियो कि म जुन चाहिँ गर्नु सक्छु कुरा त्यो गर्नु सक्छु, एडमिटेड द्याट वाट इज देयर है. अनि आफ्नो अर्को कुरा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आई थिङ्क यु सुड नो योर स्ट्रेन्थ एन्ड यु सुड अल्सो नो योर विकनेसेस वाइल यु आर प्रेजेन्टिङ योर सेल्फ. You are there to show your strength, not by त्यो आफ्नो एउटा weakness point देखाएर हुन्छ नि. Because sometimes we may think that we are doing very good, but actually that's our weakness, right? त्यस खाले कुरा. अनि अर्को which is very 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 main कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो रोहनले के भनेको थियो, टेक्निकली यो त्यो अरू त्यो थियोरिटिकल कुरा भयो, त्यो प्र्याक्टिकल कुरा भयो, तर टेक्निकली वी सुड अल्सो गेट आवर सेल्फ मोर बिजी इन डुइङ दिज अनलाइन टेस्ट. यस्तो एप्टिट्युड टेस्ट भनौँ, एउटा सबै टाइपको टेस्ट हुन्छ जसले गर्दा चाहिँ इट मेक्स यु रेडी टुडे टुमरो डे आफ्टर टुमरो कुनै पनि टाइम है. त्यो भएर सो अब यो त्यो भयो एउटा एकदम टिप्स है. नाउ फर द वान्स हु अलरेडी बिन देयर, जो चाहिँ काम गर्दैछ है, वु स्टक देयर फर सम टाइम, in the same position, maybe at an Asian level have not become the manager, or the manager have not become the senior leader, or the senior leader. Obviously it gets tougher when you go higher the ladder.
It is like this,
yeah.
Pyramid.
Yeah, it's
a space above is less.
Yeah, the air is thinner. डिफिकल्ट टु ब्रिथ है. सो त्यो तिनवटा लेभलमा चाहिँ कसरी चाहिँ हाउ डु वी मेक स्योर द्याट वी क्लाइम अप द ल्याडर क्या. एउटा एजेन्ट टु अ म्यानेजर लेभलमा, म्यानेजर टु सिनियर.
So operationally,
हजुर
है, मलाई operationally if I have to see someone, why should we promote? There are 2-3 things, right?
Okay.
One, performance. जे पनि काम दिएछ, are you doing it right, with right quality, with right metrics? As a person or as an employee, when you join any company, कुनै पनि company join गर, खाली यो बुझ कि what is expected from me, है, मबाट के चाहिरहेछ. मलाई खाली यो nail, if I hire someone only to tight a nail, right? So go and ask the malik कि कैसा चाहिए के, what kind of nail do you want, how much of length it should be, know what you are gauged. के मतलब gauge मतलब मलाई मेजर कसरी गरिरहेछ कि मेरो काम राम्रो भइरहेछ. सबभन्दा पहिला, सबभन्दा मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ इज टु नो what you are being gauged, कि कसरी मेरो पर्फर्मेन्स कम्पेयर भइरहेछ. धेरै टाइम के हुन्छ कि म एकदम पागल जस्तो कि काम गरिरहेछु, तर त्यसको के फरकै पर्दैन. किन? That is not a part of the thing that your management is looking for. Okay? So you know what your management is asking. That is the biggest thing, first of all.
Very important.
Second thing, obviously, is not even beginning, any time in your career, even I don't do rules. Be serious about your attendance. Right? Taking a long leave, taking more of leaves here and there, it's okay, it's fine. Okay. हामीलाई चाहिरहेछ कहिले कहीँ, ठिक छ. प्रब्लम के हुन्छ भने that just shows a little bit of a I won't say insubordination, but it is more like यार serious नहीं यार, ये बन्दा भन्छ नि कि छैन serious क्या, यो कति छुट्टी लिन्छ भनेर क्या. त्यस्तो don't even put that thing कि यो अलिकति दिमागमा आओस् भनेर क्या.
You must hate those people who take Saturday or Monday off, na? Extended one.
Saturday and Monday is, I'm telling you, they come with reason with Saturday and Monday. I said, you don't even need to give a reason. Just come and say that I had a hangover. But Sunday, I need to take an off on Monday. That is fine. I love it. I love it, but don't do it again. That's the only thing. But that's fine. See, all I'm trying to say is respect your 5 day of working. That is all I'm trying to say. You are committed to your job, because if there is a job that someone is given to you, right?
Okay.
He's expecting something as an output. Ramro kam gara, pura time basa tya, and I think that is it. You will grow, that I can guarantee.
Okay.
You don't even need to hunt for a growth. You will grow.
Okay. All right. Over to Rohan. के लाग्छ तपाईलाई?
See, I quite agree with Kunal. Quite a lot. But what I honestly believe is that if you don't know the business, you ask a question about how people become leaders or leadership level.
हजुर.
If त्यहाँ leadership level को लागि तपाईको दिमागमा त्यो कम्पनीको एकदम के स्ट्र्याटेजी थाहै छैन भने
हजुर.
Just because you're working hard, just because you're not drinking, just because you're not taking leaves, it does not work that way. It does not. What works at the end of the day is you knowing the business strategy first,
exactly,
and then you coming up with consulting. Consulting who are consultants? Consultants are industry experts. Industry experts are the people who actually tell them what to do from your experience.
Okay.
That's how the leaders win.
Yeah.
That's how the leaders actually take your logic, take Kunal's logic, and then move forward. Why?
Yeah. This is coming from a different stratosphere.
Yeah, correct. This is a little higher.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was just trying to put the same point here. So from a ground,
he's right.
From a ground perspective, what I told you is more. Actually, once you grow in the industry, see, very simple. You are not ending your career with just one company.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
And अच्छा है कि अगर end भी करो तो ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. That's fine. If it's a very good company, you're happy with everything, you know.
Right.
But all you want to do is just make sure, even if you grow with the company, different companies, then you want to make sure that you show some kind of learning. So getting first job first job. There's 2-3 things that I told you about. That is most important thing. Once you are getting into the job, just think about just the performance. I want Vivek to perform the way the company wants. Right? This was the Vivek. Vivek will not even have to ask about his growth. He will get it.
Right.
Okay.
I think Kunal makes a lot more sense in this context right now.
Yes. Raja.
You know why? Because there are a lot of youngsters and juniors and all that, and who are applying and all that. And if you are not able to get into that entire roots of the
I think just to we're almost towards the end of the show. I just want to revisit some of the very important point. And the question was about those who are already there in the industry. उनीहरूले चाहिँ के चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ to crack that next level भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा कलेक्टिभली यस्तो थट्स आयो जो चाहिँ मैले ती रिपिट गर्न चाहन्छु. त्यो चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ फर्स्ट अफ अल रेस्पेक्ट द वर्क है. चाहे त्यो 5 दिन काम गर्ने होस्, 6 दिन काम गर्ने होस्, चाहे त्यो जतिसुकै पैसा दिने होस्, रेस्पेक्ट द वर्क. फर्स्ट त्यो. सेकेन्ड अर्को कुरा रोहनले यो पनि एड गर्दै थियो कि डु यु नो द बिजनेस है. इफ यु डोन्ट नो द बिजनेस देन यु माइट एन्ड अप है बुलशिटिङ अबाउट थिङ्स विच डु नट इभन एक्जिस्ट एन्ड यु प्रब्ली मेक युर सेल्फ अ क्लाउन इन अ क्राउड विच वुड नो द बिजनेस लट बेटर. त्यो कुरा उहाँले एकदम क्लियर भन्नुभयो. बिजनेस त चाहियो. कुनाले एउटा भयङ्कर राम्रो इम्पोर्टेन्ट पनि कुरा गर्नुभयो विच इज अबाउट योर एक्सपोजर. क्या कस्तो तिम्रो इमेज छ क्या, हाउ पिपल लुक अप टु यु, त्यस्तो भएर चाहिँ त्यसको लागि चाहिँ कुनाले. अनि मेरो फाइनल थट चाहिँ यसमा के थियो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा युएसमा हार्वी जे कोलमन भन्ने मान्छेले सर्वे गर्यो क्या. हार्वी जे कोलमन सर्वे गर्यो. अनि सर्वेमा चाहिँ यही थियो कि एन्ड वाट इट टेक्स फर वान टु क्र्याक टु द्याट नेक्स्ट लेभल भन्ने एउटा क्वेसन आयो क्या. अन्त त्यो गर्दाखेरि थुप्रै एक्जिक्युटिभ्सहरू है, हन्ड्रेड्स अफ देम वर लाइक सर्वेड होइन. सो दे वर 3 क्लियर एट्रिब्युट्स फर अब के भन्दा अब आफ्नो एउटा करियर सक्सेसको लागि क्या. दोज वर पर्फर्मेन्स, इमेज एन्ड एक्सपोजर. 3टा थियो रहेछ क्या, टप 3 भन्नुभयो. एक्ज्याक्टली त्यही तपाईँहरूले त्यही गर्नुभयो. अनि आई जस्ट वान्ट टु क्ल्यारिफाई त के भन्नु, दिस अ पार्ट अफ स्टडी which is hopefully applicable in all the areas. Out of the 100, while all 3 were given there, you cannot just compromise. Okay? Performance only had about 10% out of the 100.
Performance 10%?
Yes. Harvey J. Coleman त्यो एउटा स्टडी गरेको छ है. Performance, which is you have to do. It's not that you can't ignore.
Okay, let's go with the 90% or what?
Right? 90% was all about image and exposure. How you build your brand, how your supervisor sees you, how you are able to showcase your work. जस्तो तपाईँले भन्दै थियो नि आफ्नो काम त गर्यो तर त्यो देख्नु पनि पर्यो क्या. त्यो चाहिँ एउटा
No, I slightly disagree. We can't go and argue with the other world, but I slightly disagree with the part that 10% for performance is very less thing. At least performance has to be at least 50%. And then the rest 50% has to definitely be exposure.
Yeah, I agree with this one.
So होइन त्यो त एउटा एज अ पार्ट अफ स्टडी थियो जसमा चाहिँ obviously many executives है but hundreds of them actually.
त्यो पनि अर्को हुन सक्छ कि it is more about senior level executive न होला, but
at mid management तर मैले भनेको थिएँ नि एउटा डिस्क्लेमर दिएको थिएँ कि I mean everything is there, you cannot just take it for granted. Even that 10% of production is actually knowing your business through and throughout. Right?
You can't even get to that 10% till the time you don't know the business. Right?
Exactly, right? So you have to know that 10% is in itself is 100%. अनि त्यो अर्को चाहिँ इमेज एन्ड एक्सपोजर भयो क्या. अनि त्यसले त्यो चाहिँ एउटा स्टडी थियो अभियसली होइन. तर एउटा कुरा चाहिँ यो पनि हो कि इट अल्सो डिपेन्ड्स कि हामी कुन चाहिँ स्कुल अफ थटबाट आएको. बिकज एट टाइम्स वी एज म्यानेजर्स लिडर्स मे हेभ आवर ओन इन्सपिरेसन है. कसैको एउटा लिडरसिप स्टाइल तपाईँलाई मन परेको थियो, मेबी यु सर्ट अफ गट दोज थिङ्स राइट. तर एउटा जेनेरिक वेमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटा यस्तो खाले चाहिँ आएको थियो. अब हुनसक्छ मेबी कुनाल इज मोर पर्फर्मेन्स ओरिएन्टेड, मेबी म पनि त्यस्तै छु क्या. म आई वान्ट माई पिपल टु नो द बिजनेस, आई वान्ट पिपल टु नो द नम्बर्स, देन ओन्ली यु टक. Okay, if you don't know, if you come and tell me story, भैया सैटरडे को ये हुआ था, फ्राइडे को यो भाग्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि ठिकै छ बादमा कुरा गरौँ होला. सो ठिकै छ. इट वाज नाइस हियरिङ अल द ओपिनियन्स, अब थट्सहरू तपाईँहरूकोबाट है. डेफिनेटली आई विश यु अल द बेस्ट कुणाल, रोहन. यु नो तपाईँहरूको करियरमा there's lot many years to go.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and a lot many years to go. With that thought, again, guys, performance is important, image is important, exposure is important, your homework is important, knowing about the company is important, and the most important of all, you should look good, appear good. With that thought, Kunal, thank you so much. Rohan, thank you so much. And nice having you. We'll talk very soon. Take care. Good night.